Chapter 7. Tuppenny hops are much resorted to by the costermongers, men and women, boys and girls. At these dances decorum is sometimes but not often violated. The women, I was told by one man, doesn't show their necks, as I've seen the ladies doing them their pictures of high life in the shop windows or on the stage. Their Sunday gowns, which is their dancing gowns, ain't made that way. At these hops, the clog hornpipe is often danced, and sometimes a collection is made to ensure the performance of a first-rate professor of that dance. Sometimes, and more frequently, it is volunteered gratuitously. The other dances are jigs, flash jigs, hornpipes in fetters, a dance rendered popular by the success of the acted Jack Sheppard, polkas, and country dances, the last mentioned being generally demanded by the women. Horses are as yet unknown to them. Sometimes they do the pipe dance. For this, a number of tobacco pipes, about a dozen, are just laid close together on the floor, and the dancer places the toe of his boot between the different pipes, keeping time with the music. Two of the pipes are arranged as a cross, and the toe has to be inserted between each of the angles without breaking them. The numbers present at these hops vary from 30 to 100 of both sexes, their ages being from 14 to 45, and the female sex being slightly dominant as to the proportion of those in attendance. At these hops there is nothing of the leisurely style of dancing, half a glide and half a skip, but vigorous, laborious capering. The hours are from 8:30 to 12, sometimes till 1 or 2 in the morning, but never later than 2, as the costermongers are early risers. There is sometimes a good deal of drinking, some of the young girls being often pressed to drink and frequently yielding in the temptation. From 1 shilling to 7 shillings is spent in drink at a hop. The youngest men or lads present spend the most, especially in that act of costermonger politeness, treating the gals. The music is always a fiddle, sometimes with the addition of a harp and a cornopian. The band is provided by the costermongers, to whom the assembly is confined, but during the present and last year, when the coster's earnings have been less than average, the landlord has provided the harp whenever that instrument has added to the charms of the fiddle. Of one use to which these hops are put, I have given an account under the head of marriage. The other amusements of this class of the community are the theatre and the penny concert, and their visits are almost entirely confined to the galleries of theatres of the Surrey side, the Surrey, the Victoria, the Bower Saloon, but less frequently Astley's. 3 times a week is an average attendance at theatres and dances by the more prosperous costermongers. The most intelligent men I met with among them gave me the following account. He classes himself with the many, but his tastes are really those of an educated man. Love and murder suits as best, sir, but within these few years I think there's a great deal more liking for deep tragedies amongst us. They set men a thinking, but then we all consider them too long. Of Hamlet we can make neither and nor side, and 9 out of 10 of us say far more than that would like to be confined to the ghost stories and the funeral and the killing off at the last. Macbeth would be better liked if it was only the witches and the fighting. The high words in a tragedy we call jawbreakers, and say we can't tumble to all that barracking. We always stay to the last, because we've paid for it all, or very few costers would see a tragedy out if any money was returned to those leaving after 2 or 3 acts. We are fond of music. Nigger music was very much liked amongst us, but it's stale now. Flash songs are liked, and sailor songs, and patriotic songs. Most costers, indeed, I can't call to mind an exception, listen very quietly to songs that they don't in the least understand. We are among us translations of the patriotic French songs. Mourir pour la patrie is very popular, and so is the Marseillaise. A song to take hold of us must have a good chorus. They like something, sir, that is worth hearing, said one of my informants, such as the soldier's dream, the dream of Napoleon, or I had a dream, an happy dream. The songs in ridicule of Marshal Hayman and in laudation of Barclay and Perkins Drayman were and are very popular among the costers, but none are more popular than Paul Jones, a noble commander. Paul Jones was his name. Among them, the chorus of Britons shall never be slaves is often rendered, Britons always shall be slaves. The most popular of all songs within the class, however, is Duck-Legged Dick, of which I give the first verse. Duck-Legged Dick had a donkey, and his lash much for to swell, and one day he got rather lumpy, and got 7 days to the mill. His donkey was taken to the green yard, a fate which he never deserved. Oh, it was such a regular mean yard, that alas the poor mote got starved. Oh, bad luck can't be prevented, fortune she smiles or she frowns. He's best off that she's contented to mix sides, the ups and the downs. But the grand hit of the evening is always when a song is sung to which the entire gallery can join in the chorus. Then a deep silence prevails all through the stanzas. Should any burst in before his time, a shout of order is raised, and the intruder put down by 1,000 indignant cries. At the proper time, however, the threats of the mob burst forth in their strength. The most deafening noise breaks out suddenly, while the catcalls keep up the tune, and in imitation of a dozen Mr. Punches squeak out the words. Some actors at the minor theatres make a great point of this, and in the Hill, upon the night of my visit, under the title of There's a Good Time Coming, Boys, there was printed, assisted by the most numerous and effective chorus in the metropolis, meaning the whole of the gallery. The singer himself started the mob, saying, "Now then, the Exeter Hall touch, if you please, gentlemen," and beat time with his hand, parodying Monsieur Julien with his baton. An angora on such occasions is always demanded, and despite a few murmurs of changing it to Duck-Legged Dick, invariably insisted on. Well, that's it for this time. I'll see you another time.